Factor75, HelloFresh, we've seen them both advertised. I've tried them both and I've got some thoughts about how they compare. You know, meal kits are all the rage right now, and I love this idea of having food delivered to my doorstep, and with a few easy steps, I've got a fresh, healthy meal ready to eat for me and my family. My wife always teases me that I'm good at cooking if I have somebody to tell me what to make. I do not excel in the trying to think of what to make. My wife is very good at looking at the cupboards and then the pantry or refrigerator and going, oh, we can make this. Here's our dinner. Me, not so much. So these meal kits are great for that. And over the past couple of weeks, I got to try Factor75 and HelloFresh. I think they're one of the ones that's advertised the most, or at least the ads that pop up most for me. And I have some clear thoughts about those. And before I get to my full thoughts, I just wanted to say I have a discount code that you can click in the description below for both Factor75 and HelloFresh. So you can try either one of them out for yourself, get a great discount on the meals, whichever ones that you select. And it's a great way to try it out and not have to pay full price. So I'll put those links down in the description below. And I want to compare the two of them because in some ways they're very similar and in other ways they're very different. And I think the biggest, most stark difference between Factor75 and HelloFresh is the convenience. On one hand, you have HelloFresh, which you go onto the website, you pick out which meals you want, how many portions you want, how many servings, and it is delivered to your doorstep, usually within a week, depending on what dates you pick. Everything's already measured out. You have all the raw ingredients, you prepare, you chop them up, you throw them in the oven, throw them in the skillet, cook them up, and you've got a hot, fresh meal, usually within 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer if you're like me. So, in that regard, pretty easy. I don't have to go to the grocery store. I don't have to find a recipe. I should probably find a recipe and then go to the grocery store. Either case, I don't have to do those two things. I don't have to measure all the ingredients out and measuring cups and spatula. I don't have to do all that. Everything's pre-packaged, pre-mixed, and everything's all in one place. Seems pretty convenient. But then you look at Factor75. Which, again, you go onto the website, pick out which meals you want, which servings you want, and within a couple of weeks, on your doorstep is packages of these meals already portioned out, already prepared. All you have to do is throw them in the oven or microwave, a couple of minutes, you got yourself a hot meal. So they took what was very convenient about a HelloFresh and made it even more convenient with Factor75. But here's the caveat. Here's where they get you. If you enjoy the experience of cooking and you want to make something with your hands and use knives and mixing bowls and putting stuff together and drizzling things on top of things and sprinkling and doing that, Factor75 is not going to work for you. Or if you have a different amount that you want to eat, you know, a lot of the recipes that we got from HelloFresh were, oh, I want a little bit more of this, a little less of this. We had some enchiladas. I ate a few more than my wife did. My toddler picked at one. So Factor75 doesn't really lend itself to that. So as you can tell, I'm conflicted on how to compare those two. In my situation, and for me, if it was just me eating, Factor75 all the way. I just want to reach in the refrigerator and go, yeah, I want the taco bowl. I pull it out, throw it in the oven or microwave, and away we go. That's sort of my preference. But again, when we're eating as a family, it's nice to make something that we can all participate in. My toddler is almost to the point of being able to jump in and help cook. Not quite there, but we'll be there soon. Now let's talk a little bit about meal options, because this is a big factor for me. We are a family of 3, my wife and my daughter, who is 2 now. We, I would say, have pretty varying tastes and interests in food. We got the HelloFresh one first, and I was overall very pleased with the options that they had on their website. And so I kind of picked a variety of things that I thought we would both like, and really my experience was we had one that was really good, one that was not as good, I should say. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't as good. And my wife thought the opposite. So, you know, it all just depends on your taste. Now, on the Factor75 side, one of the things that I really like about that is if you do have a family or multiple people that are eating these meals, everybody could get their own thing. In fact, when I ordered it, I ordered 6 different meals and made them each different. Whereas on the HelloFresh side, you sort of pick what meal you want and then how many servings you want. So you can do 2, 4, 6, maybe 8. You sort of have to agree, whereas on Factor75, because they're individual meals, you can pick whatever you want. The other thing that's nice with Factor75 is they really kind of focus on certain dietary restrictions. You can get keto friendly or paleo or low carb meals. And so that's kind of nice. Whereas I think HelloFresh, more family friendly meals. There were several things that my toddler would like on there. So that makes it kind of nice. So it all depends on what your style and interests are for that and as to which route you want to go. Now let's talk about the big element, which is the price and value of these meals. Again, I have a discount code in the description so that you can get a great discount on that. And that, I think, plays a big factor into this. If you're paying full price for either one of these kits, they tend to be a little bit pricier depending on what your budget is or how much that you're looking to pay, because you're paying for the convenience of this. And along those lines, Factor75, even maybe meal for meal, the price is a little bit more than HelloFresh because it's even more of a convenience factor. It is already prepared, it's already chopped up, it's already mixed up, and all you gotta do is throw it in the oven. So apples for apples, Factor75 ends up being a little bit more because of the convenience, but at the same time, like I said, there's a discount code that you can click in the description below so you can get a great discount on top of that and be able to try it out. And then if you like it, you can continue on, and they're always offering different specials in that. So it's always tricky to compare the prices that way. But I want to talk about a little bit about the value that you get. I think there's a tremendous value, a bigger bang for your buck in HelloFresh. The downside is you have to cook the meals yourself, but everything's already portioned out. Everything is already measured for you. You just got to kind of assemble it, chop a little bit, throw it in the skillet, throw it in the oven, and you're good to go. So if you don't mind doing a little bit of that, the half-hour work in there for that, I think you get a great value. I was thoroughly impressed with the portion sizes that we were able to get from HelloFresh. Now, a little cheat code here for you. We're a family of 3. I ordered the portion, the 4-serving portion. So we had leftovers of all of our meals. We were able to eat plenty. Sometimes with these meals, I feel like I want a little bit more. My wife maybe wants a little less. So we were able to each get enough to eat. My toddler was able to have a little bit, and we were able to still have some leftovers, which is, I think, a tremendous value for that. So a little bit of prep work, and you cook the meals yourself. Then tomorrow, so you get to eat the meal tonight, then tomorrow you get some leftovers. So you pull it out, you throw it in the microwave, you're back in business. So you get a tremendous value out of HelloFresh with a little bit of extra work. Now on the flip side, Factor75, as far as sort of microwave dinners go, I was really impressed with the portion size on that as well. Some of them I wanted to eat a little bit more, or I was still wanting a little bit more, but that's what snacking's for. That's what dessert's for. For the most part, I would eat till I was full, and I would finish it all and feel very satisfied. So there's no waste, no leftovers, and that works out really well. So overall thoughts, this is sort of a toss-up for me. I would buy both of these again. They sort of meet different needs, With Factor75, I totally see us getting a few of those meals every once in a while, throwing them in the refrigerator. They keep for a couple of weeks so that you can be able to pull them out when you're in a bind, when you need something fresh and quick, easy to eat that isn't a handful of potato chips, and I think it's great for that. At the same time, I think the value that you get from HelloFresh, the meal selections that they had, I think we're much more in tune with my personal tastes. That I could see being a meal kit that we would get on a regular basis to have something to cook for everybody and have an experience of us all eating together. Whereas Factor75 is more for, hey, I'm on the run, I gotta go, but I'm gonna eat something real quick. So I see the value to both of them, and I see the advantage to both of them. By all means, try out them both. I give you a great discount code and you can try one and then come back, try the other one. But for me, I think that they meet different needs. If you're on the go, you're individual, and you want just something quick and fresh and easy to eat, Factor75 is the way to go. If you're a family and want something, especially if you have little kids, some of the meals are a little bit more family friendly. I think HelloFresh is the way to go. You can't go wrong with either one. And while we're talking about that, click the video on the screen. You can see my full review of HelloFresh and try it out for yourself.